Hey, everybody. Welcome to DevRunner. My name is Paul. I'm an endurance runner. I'm an RRCA certified running coach. And this is what you call as impromptu as it gets. I was in the middle of doing my weights. And here on a lazy Sunday morning, it's afternoon as of 5 minutes ago. So I figured, hey, why not just stream this? So hopefully you can hear me clearly. Hopefully somebody might just catch this as they're looking through their YouTube feed and join me and do a little talking. Maybe we can talk about running, motivation. Maybe we can talk about a little bit of weightlifting, and we can go from there. Michael John Albrecht, it looks like you joined me at least momentarily. Quick shout out. How's it going? Um, I don't think you're necessarily going to get the best view because I haven't prepared this ahead of time. We're not necessarily going to get the best angles on me once I'm on the bench and stuff, but I'm just going to run through all 12 of my exercises here that I do regularly, at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, to keep my body strong and resilient for all the miles that I put on my legs and I put my body through every week. I finally reached the 70-mile-a-week threshold as I build towards a mid-November half marathon. And the only way I can remain resilient enough to put up with that kind of abuse on the roads is to, cross train with strength training. And free weights, I find the most efficient way to do that. So, folks, I'm going to start out with some clean and presses with very light weights. I've got 15 pounds in each hand for this because the purpose of this particular exercise is really just to loosen up the entire body and get ready for some of the heavier weights that are yet to come. I've already done my first set. I do 2 sets of 10, pretty much of everything throughout this weight training routine. So I'll do the second one. Good form is more important than heavy weights. So there you go. Let's just get down to it. Nine. 10. Time you exert yourself. That's when you want to breathe out, generally speaking. Don't hold your breath. That's usually a good way to pop something. All right, as soon as I catch my breath, folks, we'll be on to some of these guys, flying dumbbell lifts or something, whatever you call them. I'm not necessarily familiar anymore with the formal names for these exercises. If you're interested in a more formal display of this exact routine with formal names and a clearer picture of how to start lifting weights as cross training for running, and the number of sets, the number of reps. I do have a dedicated video for that in my video backlog. Please go through that. You'll find it. It's strength training for runners. I'm just having fun so far. Hello to whoever's watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop them. I'm more than happy to have a conversation. This is impromptu fun. As I said when I started this, I'm lifting. So I figured, hey, why not share it? All right, here we go. Let's do some dumbbell flies. Hey, Michael Sanderson. Thank you for joining me, sir. I hope things are going well with you. You know, it's funny, Michael. 4, I believe. I have a coworker who was just out your way last week, actually in Fife, Scotland. I believe that's probably north of you, but not too far, I don't think, relatively speaking, compared to the rest of the world. I hope things are going well with your training, Michael. I think that was 9. And yeah, Michael, I'd love to see more videos from you on your training. I always really, really enjoy watching you work hard. You know, I think we're similar in age. I think we're similar in ability. So I draw a lot of inspiration from the work you do, sir. Oh boy. Let me know how it's going, Michael. As I said, I'm just running through my weight routine here on a lazy Sunday afternoon. It's 10 after 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina area. So I figured, hey, why not try something brand new? Kind of inspired by Richard Runs Trails, who shares his workouts very often in a live stream. So not to say this is something I'll ever even do again, but I figured why not try it once. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see what just said. Yes, thanks. 10 miles this morning and new videos up. Oh, rock on, rock on. That's very cool, Michael. I'll watch that before the day is out for sure. Whew, I had a big 20-miler yesterday. That actually went fairly well because I finally got some livable temperatures here. So I managed to run a nice progression run and got to the the mid 7s per mile by the end of it. And yeah, hopefully things will continue to cool here now that it's September. So yeah, hope for the future again. I hope it went well for you. Let's see here. I got to pull out this bench. I got to do some dumbbell bench press now. I do these with very light weights. I'm really just trying to stay toned up here when I do my bench presses. I'm not really trying to put on any bulk at all because I want to be strong. I want to be resilient. I want my body to be able to put up with the abuse of all the miles on the roads, but I'm, trying to get or remain light in my frame. Much easier to run in the cooler weather. Absolutely, Michael. Yeah. I'm quite jealous of the weather you guys have over there. It just seems like ideal running conditions year round. So, yeah, if you ever want to switch places, if you ever want to know what it's like to train in the United States Southeast, where it's always hovering between 95 and 100% humidity and, high 90s for, 4 or 5 months a year, I'll trade with you. So let me see if I can pull this off here. At least get this bent down where you can see a little bit of the bench here. That should work. So yeah, I as part of my core routine every morning, everybody, I do 60 push-ups. That's the very last exercise I do as my morning core routine every day. So these dumbbell bench presses with 30 pounds in each hand, it's just sort of bonus exercise. It doesn't do a lot. It just helps to keep me toned. But I think I probably get more benefit to my shoulders and my back and my pecs and stuff from that daily push-up routine more than I get much from this with such light weights. I really should, I'm due. It's been about 5 or 6 weeks since I've upped the weights in this free weight routine, so I'm more than due to make it more of a challenge. The only reason I've been hesitant to up the weights in this twice weekly routine is because I'm still building my mileage in this training. So I don't want to, continue increasing mileage and speed and intensity in the runs and up the weights at the same time. I'm scared that I will overwhelm my body and start to regress. So to me, the running and the speed days on the roads are more important than trying to up the weights. This time last year, when I was training for the half marathon that I ran in Mayberry, where I set a new road PR for the half marathon, I started that training cycle lifting really heavy. You can see over here, I've got a squat rack here, and I was, 3 times a week I was doing 2 sets of 10 with 130 pounds on my back, and because these things here, the actual safety catches in case you just can't deal with the weight, they're not very big, and I'm always scared that if I lift too heavy and I just can't do it for like rep number 9 or number 10, that I won't be lined up properly and I'll end up dropping it straight to the floor or breaking my back or something. So until I can get bigger catches, I haven't really been wanting to go heavier with the weightlifting again. Plus, it took me halfway through last year's training cycle for the half marathon. I actually gave up on those heavy weights and started doing everything with dumbbells again, just because I found that it was taking away from my performance, especially on my speed days. So as soon as I let up on the amount of weight that I was lifting, I saw my times, like at the track, start getting faster really, really quickly because my legs just weren't wiped out all the time. There's that to consider. All right, let's get this second set done, and then we'll move on to some dumbbell flies on the bench. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Now I just finished my core routine before breaking out the weights today, so doing things a little bit out of order from the way I recommend runners do things too. Because yesterday was my long run, today's just going to be 7 miles easy on the roads when I finally make it out there. I pretty much always tell runners and my clients that always run first, then lift later, and do your lifting on your hard, like your speed days after you're done running, because you want to save your best efforts for, the runs. If you're a runner, then, prioritize the runs. However, because today is an easy day for running, it's just knocking out 7 miles for the sake of just kind of getting them loosened up after the 20 miles of hard work yesterday. It doesn't bother me to do the weights first because there's absolutely no demand to perform on the roads today. So, and tomorrow will be another easy day, a mere 6 miles. Luckily, tomorrow is a holiday here, Labor Day in the United States. So I get another day to just kind of be lazy and hang out and take it easy before the Tuesday track session. I switched my days around. I now have, my week basically looks like this. Monday, easy day. Tuesday, track day. Wednesday, easy day. Thursday, oh, I'm screwing this up, aren't I? No, Thursday is my middle long run. Then Friday is easy. Saturday is now my long run, and Sunday is easy. So that's why I'm here, and it's an easy day on Sunday. Up until 2 weeks ago, Sunday would have, traditionally been my long run day, but rather than having 2 easy days leading into my long run, I've found the pattern developing that my Tuesday track days were really suffering. I just can't get anywhere near the times I'm used to seeing on my 400, 800, 1600 meter reps. So I've shifted my long run to Saturday so that I get Sunday and Monday to kind of give myself double recovery day before I go into the track day. And that's what I did last year in order to be able to get down to 72 second 400 meter reps. So yeah, there it is. So tomorrow, the only thing I'll be doing is, core in the morning as soon as I roll out of bed, and then I'll be doing 6 miles easy. No weights tomorrow, so that my legs really have a good chance to recover before I head to the track in the wee early morning pre-dawn hours to knock out hopefully some fast reps this time. My long run yesterday, the good solid performance that I saw yesterday really was very encouraging to me. I was starting to think I was getting nowhere, and that the extra weight I'm carrying is really, really holding me back from the kind of performances that I saw last year. So with that encouragement from yesterday, I'm hoping Tuesday, this will be my first actual good track session. We shall see, but I think it's a realistic hope at this point. All right, let me stop talking just for a minute and try to get through a quick set of these lateral bench flies. Again, 30 pounds in each hand. One. Two. Three. 5. I love this exercise. I hate it, but I love it because it really expands your chest. It really makes it easier to really expand your lungs, and that does nothing but help when you're out there running, trying to stay aerobic, when you're really pushing yourself. That upper body musculature, the stronger it is, it's not just for holding good form, it's also really good for getting more oxygen. Everybody who's coming in and out, thank you. Appreciate you joining in and checking out what's going on. I put no forethought into this live stream whatsoever. This was literally hey, let's try this type of thing. I've got, there are a handful of other channels, friends of mine, people who've become friends through YouTube, and they do this kind of thing all the time. So, hey, why not me? If it falls flat, I can always never do it again. But yeah, Michael, I'd love to know, what are you doing? If you're still with me, Michael, what are you doing for cross training yourself? I'd love to know. I'd love to get some ideas from you as well. Do you have set times of the day for particular training routines or distances? Well, for running, with the exception of days like today, where it's like, it's a Sunday, it's a lazy day. I don't really have to be anywhere at any time. I'll sleep in. Saturdays and Sundays are a big day for me, just to try to make up for sleep I may have lost earlier in the week. So, I won't even make it out the door for my 7 miles today, probably till like 1:32 in the afternoon. But normally I like to be up at 4:30 a.m. My work schedule for my job has become far more rigid in the last month, so it's the only way I can fit it all in. And sorry, just seeing messages come in on Instagram from some of my running clients. I'm gonna have to get back to them in a little while. But yeah, normally I'm up at 4:30. I roll out of bed. I do my core routine, which usually takes me 25 minutes, and I'm out the door as fast as I can. I've worked out my schedule so that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are my work from home days, that's Tuesdays are my track days. So I try to be at the track by 5:30 a.m. Spend like an hour and a half there, and then get back here as fast as I can to start my work day by 8 o'clock. And on Thursdays, that's my middle long run day. So same story, up at 4:30, out the door at 5. My middle long run at this point, Michael, is up to 14 miles, and it will cap out at 15 miles. So it takes me a couple hours to get that done. As the temperatures come down, that'll get quicker and quicker. But yeah, the earlier the better. 4:30 a.m. is kind of like my start time. 3 weight sessions per week. Okay, 20 kilograms and times 3 sets and 15 reps. Wow, rock and roll. Plus yoga twice a week. Oh, good for you, Michael. That's awesome. I would love to get into that. I watch, to name drop around here, I don't know if you're aware of Michelle's channel, Open Door Yoga, here on YouTube. She's awesome. Just a super friendly, super awesome, super knowledgeable yoga coach. And I pick up bits and pieces from her. She's been doing a lot of shorts lately where she'll show you particular yoga moves. In fact, I was watching a couple of hers this morning as I was finishing up my core routine. And I learned the cow cat from her. So I had been doing child's pose after I finish my push-ups, my set of 60 push-ups. I just kind of curl up using the child's pose, and I was watching her, and I learned about the cow cat or the cat cow, whatever you call it. And wow, it's like the little I do know about yoga is really, really awesome. I'd love to get more into it. If you haven't already, Michael, I would love to see a video from you on what you find most effective yoga-wise for runners, because I really trust what you do, because I know you're just a phenomenal runner, and you work hard. So yeah, I would love to see some kind of guidance, like a runner's guide to yoga. And anybody who wants to learn more about Michelle from Open Door Yoga, of course, go to her channel and get yourself subscribed. She's awesome. Can't say it enough. But I also interviewed her for, I think, one of my Coach's Corner videos sometime in the last 6 months, I believe. So go check her channel out. Get subscribed. She rocks. Can't say enough good about her. But hey, Phil, Trail Running Phil is here. Rock on. How you doing? Everybody, for anybody who watches this after the fact, if you don't know Michael Sanderson, he's from the north of England, up near Hadrian's Wall, I believe. Awesome runner, great channel. Phil is a ultra runner extraordinaire. Go check him out. Everybody who's watching needs a shout out here. I do runner's yoga by Adrian. Okay, cool. Phil, what's the name of her channel? Is it Yoga by Adrian? Yeah, let me know. Maybe drop a comment with a link to her channel, or just give me share with everybody the proper name for her channel. Anybody who can help runners to get better, I'm more than happy to share. Anybody and everybody. While that's going on, folks, forgive me here. I tend to run on at the mouth. I got to get another set of these dumbbell flies done. starting to get hard. Man, I love those things. They just open up your chest and just get it so where you can just take these huge breaths. And that carries over so well to when you're running. Whew. She has 2 or 3 follow-along videos for runners, post and pre-run. Rock and roll. I may have come across her channel before. I just don't recognize the name of the channel right now. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah. All right. What do I need to set up for now? I got to get the bench out of the way. I'm going to do some dumbbell squats with the same 30 pounds in each hand. I'm just trying to stay toned here, guys, and make sure that my sense of balance is good. That I love it with the dumbbells, because even though I can't get a ton of weight up with just dumbbells, it does really, because it's dumbbells and the weight can move around so easily, it really makes it where you have to pay close attention to lifting equally with both sides of your body, because I don't know about anybody else, but ever since I was a teenager, I am so right side dominant that if I use a bar for everything, I'll do almost all the work with the right side of my body. So anything I can do with dumbbells to try to balance that out, I think is really, really helpful. Once I settle into my maximum weekly mileage for this half marathon training cycle, which will probably be somewhere in the high 70 per mile week, 70 miles per week, to probably capping out right around 80 miles a week, which is probably 2 or 3 weeks away. That's when I'm probably going to go back to using the bar for at least squats and deadlifts, because I can get way more weight on that bar, obviously. And once I'm maxed out mileage-wise, I'm not sort of continually pushing my body harder just through sheer mileage. So I feel like at that point, I can start adding more intensity to the weightlifting. That's the thought process there. Hey, Grind with Will, rock and roll. Hey, Paul, how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm lazy Sunday sort of weights workout, Will. Just decided to do this on the fly, so thank you for joining. If you've got any advice about weightlifting for runners, if you want to tell everybody about what you're doing on your channel here in the chat, I'm more than happy to share that. I know a great channel that's out there. Let's all stick together. Let's help each other out, get the word out, and keep motivating people to do running the healthy way. Be in it for the long haul, and cross-train, lift weights, keep a strong core, and it'll only make you more resilient, less injury-prone, and therefore more consistent. And training cycle after training cycle, that's how you get faster. I've used wrist straps to lift heavier dumbbells with reduced grip. That's a brilliant idea, Will. Thank you for sharing that. You know what that really comes to mind for is when I'm doing, believe it or not, when I'm doing my calf raises, you'll see at the end, it's the very last exercise I do in this routine of 12 exercises. I do 2 sets of 50 calf raises. And by the time I get up over 40, I'm just like, the pain isn't in my legs, isn't in my calves, it's in my wrists and my hands. Like my grip strength is not where it should be. So what you're talking about with wrist straps, that may be the key to being able to hang on for longer and maybe up the weights on these calf raises. All right. I don't know if I've got a really good angle. I don't know if it's possible for me to get a really good angle on this. You'll see the way I've got the dumbbells held as I do these squats. As I come down, for me, it means I really got to concentrate on making my left side do half the work. as I said earlier, not a lot of weight here, 30 pounds in each hand, but the fact that it's dumbbells, that they wobble around while you're going up and down, makes it that little bit harder, a little bit more of a challenge. So it's a good stability workout as well as a sheer strength workout. And again, folks, I'm not trying to get big here. That is not my aim. I just want to remain resilient for all the miles that I'm dumping on my legs. And, once you get over 70 miles a week on the roads exclusively, you're beating yourself up pretty good. So, unfortunately, as my runs get more and more pre-dawn, it eliminates the ability to get, by the time I drove out to where all the good trails are, if I want to do some trail running around here, there simply isn't enough time for me to drive out there, run the kind of distances I need to run, drive home, and be back at my desk in time to start my workday. So it's pretty much my runs begin and end right by my house so that I can just barely fit in the number of miles that I'm covering. All right, let's get the second set of dumbbell squats done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Can tell the heat is building outside, folks. The first hint of things cooling down here in North Carolina came yesterday. It was a mere 60 degrees at 5:30 a.m. when I got started on my running, my 20-mile long run yesterday, but the temperature started climbing immediately as soon as the sun came up. So and here we are. It's here in North Carolina right now. It's 20 minutes to 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and the heat's getting up there again. It's in the mid 80s, high humidity. The bedroom I'm in here on the second floor is facing directly at the sun. The window's right over here, and I'm feeling the heat. I got the door shut so that the cats and the dogs don't run in and out constantly as I'm trying to get this done. So folks, I'm going to use this same 30 pounds in each hand and just do some dumbbell deadlifts. I know that's a ridiculously light amount. I like when I'm using the bar, when I build up to using the bar again, I'll be deadlifting with about 135, 140 pounds to start. But for now, this is doing a good job of keeping me resilient, as I am saying ad nauseum throughout this live stream. As I come up, I am pushing my midsection ever so slightly forward. Arching my back forward to try to get a little flex on my lower back and hips. And 10. Hang on 1 second. I think my dog is outside the door here. Calvin, come on, big boy. Come on in, big boy. Not so sure. I'll leave the door open. Calvin is standing outside in the hallway, contemplating whether he wants to sit in this hot room or go back downstairs. Here he comes. There's the baby boy. All right. All right, Calvin, this won't be long. All right, one more set of those dumbbell deadlifts. Big boy. Step back and try to make room here. Calvin wants to be a star too. If the weight wasn't so light, I would be taking a moment to actually set the weights down on the ground in between each lift. But I'm not too worried about it when the weight is so light. How is the picture quality, by the way, guys? I'm just using the built-in camera on my 10-year-old laptop, my little Chromebook here, so I hope it's not like super terrible. Next time I'll do a better setup if this just doesn't cut it. All right, what's next? Oh, this is sort of my my back and shoulders superset coming up right now. Let's see if I can get the camera down here so you can see what I'm up to. Get a really wider than shoulder width apart stance here. I'll bring it in. I don't even know what you call these folks. I know it really, really helps to keep your lower back super strong as well as your shoulders. Controlled lowering it as well as lifting the weight. 10. Then I bring the feet in a little bit closer, rise up so that I'm not quite bent over to be parallel with the ground anymore. And I lift to mid-chest now. Starting to really burn, but I got to keep going. Now I stand up completely and lift all the way up to where I can actually touch the weights to my chin. Trying not to just heave these weights up, but pick them up in a very controlled manner. Really feeling the burn in my rotator cuffs. Set them down. Bend myself over completely so that my chest is up against my quads. And then I do a quick 10. Really works the back. And it helps you stabilize laterally with your legs. Always break a heavy sweat when I do that. Hey folks, anybody who's joined, I can see the numbers are higher than ever before with viewers. Very much appreciate that, since this was just like a last minute, hey, let's turn on the camera while I'm doing my weights. Thank you for joining me. This is basically just as a run coach, this is my strength routine, twice weekly minimum, to keep my body strong and able to deal with the pounding of running on the roads. I think it's something that every runner should do. If you don't want to be injured out there as a runner, the best way to cut down on the odds of you getting hurt is to strength train, minimum twice a week. I'm not talking about trying to become Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I mean, I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7". Right now I weigh too much. I weigh about 148 pounds, but race weight for me is anywhere around 135 to 138. Yeah, I'm not trying to get huge. I'm just trying to be strong enough to put up with the abuse that running doles out, especially when you're running on the roads all the time. For anybody who's been with me for the last little while, I know you're hearing me repeat myself a lot, but I'm trying to just keep it where anybody who's just tuning in live for the first time in the last few minutes knows what I'm doing and why. All right, folks, let's do some, trying to get it where you can see the full range of motion once I begin. Let's just do some bicep curls. Try to get the full range of motion, really elongate those muscles. Because a longer muscle is a stronger muscle. I guess just to show you what I mean is lifting from where your arms are completely straight all the way up to where they're fully curled is what you want to do. You don't want to be doing something like this where you're not really straightening out. You're just kind of shifting your arms around like this. That's not nearly as helpful as that. That's why swimmers are such strong runners. When you're swimming laps, you're really, really, really elongating those muscles and you're getting the full benefit of strength. Michael Sanderson, do you do any cold water recovery? I fill the bath or have the shower cold. I suppose if I was smart, I'd be doing this, huh? Sharing it on the screen. Michael says, do you do cold water recovery? I fill the bath or have the shower cold and direct the water onto my thighs, etc. No, I'm not very good about that, Michael, in all truth. I know that's a really good idea, but in all truth, no, I do not. I'm one of those guys who, while I'm brushing my teeth and shaving, I'm running the water in the shower to try to get it as steaming hot as I possibly can. But strangely, some people say cold therapy after you work out hard. Some people say heat. I'm sure there's merit to both. I know a lot of people who go back and forth between the extremes to try to loosen up their muscles after a hard run or a hard workout. But for me, there's nothing like that feeling of just scalding hot water after a hard workout. Like yesterday when I got home from my 20 miler, even though it was hot outside, gave my body a chance to cool down, did some static stretching, and then headed upstairs to that hot shower. And I was just having it. Let's see what Will says. Bear with me here. This is a very old, slow computer. Sometimes when I'm tired and catch myself cheating on curls, I put my back against great idea. Yeah, and that kind of isolates the muscle, and you can't kind of heave with your body to get that weight up. Great idea, Will. Brilliant idea. This is the kind of stuff that you only get from the community when you have these kind of impromptu little meetings, and the videos aren't all so formal. This is awesome. Wow, I feel like I'm probably getting more benefit out of this live stream than anybody who's watching. But wow, you guys are great. Thank you. Hey, Phil, good work. What for lunch? Um, Probably nothing for lunch for me, Phil. What are you eating for lunch? Let's get some diet ideas going, some healthy foods going. I had a I came down this morning, let the dog out in the backyard, and went to make breakfast. Um, and I was so famished from yesterday's 20 miler that I made a huge bowl of oatmeal with raisins, bananas, protein powder, whey protein powder, and my creatine. Um, with everything added in, I did the calorie count, and it was a 1,000 calorie bowl of oatmeal for me. So, yeah, I got a little ways off. I will finish this weight routine, and I will get out and run my 7 miles before I think about food again. Um, yeah, let's get that going as a topic of discussion for anybody who's going to stick around a little bit. Um, how do you like to carb load before your long run days, guys? For me, it's pretty much if I'm doing my long run on a Saturday morning, my Friday afternoon meal is my go-to is always a giant bowl of oatmeal. Um, but Yeah, I would love to know what you guys do, what works for you, what you find is a good recovery meal as well. I know a good recovery meal is half and half carb and protein with a little bit of healthy fats thrown in, of course. But yeah, I'd love to know how you guys go about achieving that. Let's get this second set of bicep curls done before I get completely cold. Funny, I'm looking at myself here in the display. I know my wife is going to see this video after the fact, and she's going to be like, "Why are you showing off what a mess that room is?" This is the spare bedroom, guys. This is where all the stuff we know we want to keep, but we don't have any use for anywhere else, just kind of gets piled up. So that's the reality of the situation. I just tried to fit my weight bench and all that kind of crud in here and leave myself with just barely enough room to move. All right, back to the bench for a couple of exercises. I got my tricep curls coming up, and then my wrist curls. Speaking of grip strength. And then after that, we're down to the final two exercises, which are weighted lunges and the aforementioned calf raises. I don't do them on a step. I actually have a raised little step stool that I do them on. Let's see if I can get the view back where you can see the bench. Yeah, that'll work. So guys, yeah. Here we go. Phil says beans and an apple is my carb load. Wow, rock and roll. What kind of beans do you prefer? I was actually reading about the different kind of beans not 48 hours ago. Despite all the bad rap that soybeans get, I was amazed at how much more packed with protein and everything they are. I know like black beans, pinto beans, and black-eyed peas are also really, really great. So my approach to beans, as I try to become more plant-based, I have no plans to become vegetarian or vegan, but I definitely want to minimize the amount of animal protein that I take in with time moving forward. But yeah, my plan is just to make beans a part of my diet at least 4 days a week and just kind of mix it up. Try a different one each day to get the protein and the balanced diet that I need while carb loading at the same time because of the high starch content. All right, folks, let's do some tricep curls. By the way, guys, I really appreciate you joining and sticking around for this conversation. More than I'd hoped for when I went live just as a whim today. Learning some great things. It's really important to me to work the muscles on the way down as well as on the way up. That was either 10 or 11, I don't know. Close enough. Getting close to the end. It's funny because the weighted lunges, which are coming up soon, they do such a great job of blowing out my legs that I always feel it when I get out there for the run if I do the dumb thing and I lift before I run. Like I said earlier in this live stream, the only reason I'm lifting before I run today is because it's just 7 miles dead easy. I don't care how slow I go. There's no price to pay performance-wise in my run by being already wiped out from lifting. So otherwise, I preach to all of my running clients and anybody who will listen to me here on YouTube. Always run first and lift later. All right, let's just get the second set of tricep curls done. Trying to do all the work with my arms and not arch my back too much. Not doing myself any favors by hitting that painting behind me every time I come down with the weights. Or the dog nudging me. Nothing wrong with an extra little challenge though, right? I think that's 10. All right, folks, let me see if I can get a good view. Here, the end of the bench where I'm going to do my wrist curls now. I always have to remove my running watch before I do these, otherwise my left wrist can't curl properly on the end of the bench. The number I do 2 sets for each hand on these, one hand at a time, and the numbers vary. Some days I can go as many as 50 in a row. Some days it's like 35 and 25. I guess that explains a lot about why my grip strength is probably not where it needs to be, but here we go. And is it getting hot in this room? All right. Whew. Usually I end up getting really annoyed because the weights will start coming loose as I twist these things around. It's behaving today so far. I'll check messages or chat in a second, guys. Bear with me. Let's see what's being said here. Phil says, how do you resistance train for muscle strength as opposed to muscle hypertrophy? Yeah, I assume, Phil, that you're saying don't want to gain too much weight. Yeah, so you're saying you just want to train for functional strength as opposed to muscle mass gain. I think that, Phil, in all truth, I really think that people assume that getting big inadvertently or without trying is something that can just like happen. My findings have always been that unless you're really, really trying, unless you're like spending a lot of time in the gym and really doing like sets with low reps and super high weight, it's not really much of a concern. In all truth, I think to try to get big, there has to be a concerted effort to get big. I think if you're a runner like me, like you, who is strength training to remain number one, injury resistant, and to become functionally strong. The first thing I tell people is more reps, lower weights, but don't be scared every 4 to 6 weeks to up the amount of weight and drop the reps again. You're not going to get huge without like really, really trying to get huge. I don't lift gigantic amounts of weight, but I always try to keep it to where I am challenged. If I do 2 sets of 10 of every exercise, as you're seeing me do here today, I find that that's a nice balance. Most people will tell you lift the amount of weight that you can do 8 to 10 reps. That's pretty much a good guideline. If you're trying to lift to failure, you really don't want to. I mean, you're talking about sets of 4 to 6 where you're just pushing a lot of weight. So, if you're dealing with the kind of weight that you can do 8 to 10 reps twice, 2 sets of 8 to 10, you're going to be functionally strong. You'll look toned. You'll be able to, flex, and people will be able to know that you lift, but you're not going to get so huge that it suddenly becomes to the detriment of your running. Like you're not suddenly going to have these massive quads and leg muscles to where you can't maintain a good stride anymore. That's just, I don't think that's really a concern unless you're really, really working hard in the gym, like to the point where you're like having specialized days. Like, I'm lifting guaranteed twice a week, full body routine, as you're watching me do today, until you reach the point where you're getting specialized days where you got like a leg day, you've got like an upper body day, you've got a dedicated arms day, a back day, etc., like that. That's when you're going to find yourself blowing up. and getting big to the point where it may affect your running for the worse. But yeah, if you're just running through a full body routine just to keep yourself resilient, it's not really a concern. Not of mine anyway. We do a quick second set of these wrist curls. And then it's on to the ever so loved weighted lunges, which are one of the best exercises for runners. $15, $16, $17, $18. Try to get that full range of motion, all the way down to all the way up. Oh, these hurt so much. I don't know about you guys, but man, those hurt. My forearms are just burning by the time I get to the end of these. Now let's come loose. I must have had it tightened down pretty good. It didn't misbehave until the very end. All right. Hey, Richard. Nice to see you here. I mentioned you a little earlier. Richard, I just decided just kind of like off the cuff to live stream my weights workout today. No advertisement beforehand or anything. I was like, it's a lazy Sunday. I'm doing this anyway. I might as well put it out there, and anybody who's interested can just follow along and have some fun. Thanks for joining me. Everybody, if you don't know Richard from Richard Runs Trails, let me bring this up on the screen. Richard is an ultra runner extraordinaire, and a heck of a guide for weight training as well. Richard does a lot of this kind of thing where he'll just flip the camera on and do his workout while he has conversations with everybody who's watching. Oh, that's cool, Richard. Yeah. Richard is saying he does a lot of live streams last minute. Richard's channel is wonderful. A lot of great reviews, very honest reviews of all kinds of equipment. I get great ideas for how to come up with variations on various exercises from Richard as well. So yeah, check him out. Runs incredible races, 100 milers. They're utterly challenging terrain. What was that? The one you ran in Georgia a few months back, Richard? Holy moly. Really impressive stuff. Let me put this bench back, and then it's time for some weighted lunges. Don't ask me how I'm going to try to capture this exercise. Maybe I'll do them sideways so that you guys can kind of see me going forward and backwards this way. Get my watch off the ground before I crush it. Yeah, Richard, I'm down to the last two exercises here in my 12 exercise set for the full body weight routine, and weighted lunges and calf raises. Try to finish off with the hardest stuff last. So hopefully I've got this at a decent angle where you guys can get some idea of what I'm up to here. Do my best to keep good form throughout. I love doing these because they really work on lateral stability as well as forward and back motion. I'm doing this with 30 pounds in each hand. And I make a very concerted effort to do the vast majority of the lifting once I've got my kneecap behind me, grazing the ground. I never put my weight down on the ground. I just get my back kneecap grazing the ground, and I try to do most of the lifting to get up again with that leg that is extended behind me. I find that really helps not only to open up your stride as a runner, but give you far more strength in that push off. When you see the greats like, Elliot Kipchoge, etc., what gives them such a massive stride is that incredible strength. They can push off when their leg is fully extended and just get they can launch themselves. Now, I'm nowhere near that. I don't delude myself into thinking I'm anywhere near an elite runner. However, when I look at my stats for stride length in my Coros app, I can tell the difference between me when I'm weight training and especially doing these weighted lunges regularly and when I'm not. I will get a significantly longer stride when I'm doing these successfully and regularly. So with that said, folks, let me get myself lined up with the camera here, and hopefully you'll be able to see my leg as I extend backwards. Here we go. Doesn't help that I'm wearing these tall rubber bouncy slippers on my feet. Not brilliant, but it does add to the challenge. 3, 4, 4, 5. I do it, as you can see, I'm doing a kick up with my leg in front of me. So I'm going all the way from my foot being extended out behind me, pushing up and lifting that knee, just like you need for maximum power when you're running. 9, 9. Trying not to allow my body to twist. Trying not to knee Calvin in the head. Yeah, Calvin is tired. Richard says Calvin is tired. Calvin is tired because he's been misbehaving all morning. Calvin gets rambunctious in the mornings, and even after he's been fed, he'll run upstairs to steal the cat's food and all that stuff. It's just he needs to be policed constantly, but he's a good boy. How long till my half marathon? Richard asks. Richard, it's going to happen in mid-November. I don't have an exact date because I'm still going back and forth about whether I'm going to run it as a time trial on the track or if I'm going to go back to the Mayberry half marathon as I did last year in November. If I do go back to Mayberry, that will be on the 9th. No, I'm wrong. It's the 11th, I believe, of November. Look up the Mayberry half marathon and you'll see it. It's actually run in the town of Mount Airy, North Carolina, which is like a little over an hour north of here. And it's the town that Andy Griffith is from, thus Mayberry half marathon. It's a difficult course. It says it's only like, I think, 290 feet of gain over the 13.1 miles. However, it's rough because you don't really get crowd support. It's all done on pretty much the first half a mile you come out of like the downtown of this little town and you're on a greenway. And then the whole way you're basically running alone. So it's like time trialing all by yourself. It's like a training run. You have to keep yourself hyped up. And there are the greenway passes under a lot of roads and highways. So you get these like 20, 25 foot dips underneath the road, and then you got to climb them again. So those underpasses or overpasses really take a lot out of you. So Despite that, I did manage to run a 1:20 hour, 20 minutes and 10 seconds last year, which set a new road half marathon PR for me, but it came up 33 seconds short of my best half marathon time, which I ran on the track the year before that. My best ever half marathon period was run as a time trial on the track, 52 and 3/4 laps around a 400-meter track. And I ran it in 1 hour, 19 minutes and 38 seconds. So the only way I'll go to and run at Mayberry again this year is if I am really convinced that I'm in better shape than last year. Otherwise, I'll probably just run a time trial here. The reason behind that is not just vanity, that I want to be able to PR at all costs. Though, there is a certain amount of vanity, I will admit to it, in wanting to run another PR at 54 years old. But I really, in all truth, I see this half marathon as a stepping stone. My big, big, big goal is I'm already booked. I'm already bought my ticket for the Myrtle Beach Marathon next March 4th, I believe is the day. And I am dead set on running a marathon PR then. So this is really a stepping stone to make sure that by mid-November, I'm in really super primo shape, and then I can spend 14 weeks getting way stronger than I've ever been before for a marathon, because I really want a PR. I will have to run better than a 2:52. I'm going to blow this now. 2:52.24, I believe, is my marathon PR. So I don't want to just beat that. I want to solidly beat that. I'd like to run at least a minute faster. I'd love to run a 2:49. That's always been my ultimate goal. I've never come close. Last May 1st, this May 1st, just a couple of months back, I ran a marathon on the track, 105 and a half laps. And I ran a 2:52, I think a 2:52.52. So I missed my marathon PR by whatever that turns out to be, 29 seconds or something. But yeah, I'd love to run a marathon PR on a real course. Given a choice, I never want to run 105 and a half laps around a track again. All right, I've been putting this off long enough. Let me do the second set of weighted lunges. I'm gonna have to change my angle because otherwise Calvin's gonna get stomped here. Come on. We'll see. What can I do to get better in a shot here? There we go. Hopefully I've got enough room to kick back now. Two, three, four. As I grow more confident with each rep, I try to extend my foot even further back. Really make my toes work hard to push off to lift myself up. I'm trying to minimize the amount of lifting I'm doing with the leg that's out front and trying to do most of the work with the one that's back behind me. Simply because I'm a runner. Feels really good now, but when I get out on the roads later, I'm going to feel that. Which is why I always recommend that runners run first. Yes, Richard says he remembers that I ran the Mayberry Half Marathon last year. Yes. I ran it with a couple of clients and a couple of friends last year, and it was a warmer than usual day. So I'm proud of the time I ran, but yeah, the course was definitely tougher than I was expecting it to be. The kind of shape I was in last year when I ran that, I know if I'd run on the track, I would have obliterated my track half marathon PR. I know I would have run at least a minute faster. I would have run a 1:18 something. But that's why I'm tempted, unless I'm convinced. You know, the heat of the summer so far, Richard, as you know, being in Texas, has made it so hard to run fast. And that combined with the fact that this belly of mine is not shrinking at the rate that I'd like it to, means that I haven't been able to run as strong as I want to. And it's put a lot of doubt in my head about my ability to keep up with what I did last year. So unless things really turn around in a very quick way, I'm probably going to run a time trial on the track this year for the half, just to get it out of the way and give myself an indication that I'm at least well on my way to a strong marathon in March. I think the winter will be colder. It'd be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I've heard a lot of people say that. Not necessarily meteorologists, but I've seen a lot of chatter online about how the winter will probably be an extreme winter as well, kind of swinging hard in the cold direction. I hope not. One thing I love about the winters here in North Carolina is that it's very relatively mild compared to the rest of the country. So even in the dead of winter, even in like early February, my roads are clear. And I'm running hard and loving it because you can really move fast when it's that cold. You know, the best problem to have as a runner is that you have to wear an extra layer. I don't mind that at all. All right, check this out, folks. I'm going to dig out my little step stool for the final exercise on the day. Try to get it where you can see it. My little foldable step stool for my calf raises. Calvin's not going to move, so I just got to be real careful. You know what? I'm going to turn it sideways so you can actually see my heels hanging off the back of it, etc., etc. Which is the smart way to go. That's what I want. All right, I like to do 2 sets of 50. Just try to get the full range. Now, my left Achilles has been a growing problem with soreness for the last couple of weeks. I haven't really mentioned it in my videos, but my training videos are a month behind. So you can expect to hear me belly aching about my Achilles in the next coming weeks on my weekly vlog, training vlog. I also do make a concerted effort to make sure I'm lifting on my left side. As I said earlier, I am very right side dominant, so I have to make a very conscious effort to assure my left side of my body is working just as hard. 24. 31, 32. Hopefully that's a decent angle, guys. Apologies. I know I could do better if I would set up some webcams that were on tripods and stuff like that, but I literally made the decision to live stream this at the last second. There's one set down. I'm using my old Dell laptop, my old Chromebook. Oh, Daniela Joy, rock and roll, Daniela. How's it going? Thanks for joining the last minute live stream here. I just decided to, what the heck, never done it before. And as I said, took my inspiration from Richard Runs Trails and just decided to do a live stream while I'm lifting. Thank you for being here, Daniela. Anybody, if you don't know Daniela Joy, come on, get with the times here. The weight loss queen, the awesomest person. If you need positive reinforcement, folks, let me bring up Daniela here on the screen so you can get a look at her icon and stuff. Daniela Joy weight loss. Daniela rocks. Just a positive person, a person who's made such gains in strength and weight loss and just being a good person to know. Just can't say enough good about Daniela. She's been an inspiration to me for years now, and follow along with her journey, and you won't be able to stop yourself from smiling and feeling motivated. And that's what really gets me is, a lot of people think that I've got it figured out, with the number of miles I run and being a coach and stuff. But, everybody's a person. Everybody has down days. Everybody has doubts. And having somebody like Daniela in your corner is huge. So, if you need inspiration and great ideas on how to lose weight, how to stay on track, and how to become a better version of yourself, Daniela does a great job of all of it. So, you're very welcome, Daniela. All right, folks, I'm going to tilt this camera back down because we are down to the final set of the final exercise. Going to get some more calf raises done. Then I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go get changed for a run. It's 86 degrees outside and 90-something% humidity. So pretty much what I've been used to for the last 4 months. And I'm going to get out there and do 7 miles dead slow. After 20 miles yesterday, I'm not out to prove anything except that I can loosen up my muscles. All right, folks, let's see if I can get that. There's Calvin itching himself. There's my little step stool with the black and white dots. 50 more calf raises. And we can call this done. Normally, folks, this workout of 12 exercises takes me about 40 minutes, 45 minutes if I'm taking it easy. I know I've been on this live stream for like, an hour and a half or something silly. That's because I've been doing more talking than lifting. Again, making sure I'm doing as much work with my left foot and my left leg as my right. Calvin's scratching the top of his head with his back leg. It's okay, big boy. It's almost time to go out. 33, 34, 35. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Starting to burn. 41. There it is. All right. Let's set this down carefully. All right, folks. Stephen Hardy has joined us. Thanks for this, Paul. Just bought my creatine and have been fishing for workout ideas for runners. Great stuff. Hey, appreciate it, Stephen. I'll tell you what, Stephen. Today's workout, the 12 exercises that I did, exactly reflect the full body routine that I recommend for runners. If you will do me the huge honor of searching through my backlog of videos on my channel, you will find an actual dedicated video that's really, the video shots are far better, and they will show you exactly how to perform these exercises to give you the full body benefit you need for strength as a runner. And there's a preamble in there about why it's so important to train with weights as a runner, and give you an idea of how to structure the number of sets and the number of reps you do. Bev's here. Rock on. Hello from Paris, says Bev. Let me bring her up as well. But yeah, Stephen, I recommend it's well worth the time to search out that video on my channel. You can take away and add to it. I don't pretend that it's the only good way to lift weights as a runner, but it will definitely give you a very comprehensive, very well balanced start, and you can go from there and make it your own. I am a certified run coach, and I have plenty of clients who I've got a handful that use exactly my body weight strength routine, and I have several that don't. That I still insist that they strength train, mind you, but they use other sources for the types of exercises that they do, and I do review those for them to make sure that they're not missing out on any muscle groups or kind of underserving certain muscle groups. But yeah, merely a suggestion. Bev, thank you for being here. How are things going out in Paris? I'm getting ready to sign off, but I appreciate you being here. Yeah, just did this off the cuff. So guys, if you found any value in this, please let me know. I'd love to do more in the future if you think there's any point to it. One thing I can say for sure is I got a ton of value out of this just from the suggestions from viewers who dropped in how to maybe improve on a particular exercise, or when they do it, or how they eat for best results from training, etc. Yeah, and it's just great to get the support in real time from people that I think so highly of. So I appreciate y'all being here. As I said, I'm going to go get changed into some short shorts and a little tank top, and I'm going to prepare myself for 7 miles in the North Carolina deadly heat. Sooner or later, this weather is going to break, folks, and I'm going to enjoy the cold. But until then, we keep on grinding. Thanks for being here. Peace out.